Reportedly, roughly 50% of the team at id Software has been laid off as part of the Xbox layoffs. Doom: The Dark Ages Revelations launches today. Apparently, there's like one guy left on the id Tech team. So, even though I didn't finish Dark Ages, it was pretty, it was a good game. I mean, some people fucking ride or die for that game and Eternal, and some maybe not so much, but I think this is a great trilogy. I think id Tech is amazing, but I guess it didn't sell 10 million. Black Flag did the same thing today with layoffs. It's crazy. This is a crazy world where you are rewarded only for fortnights. It's crazy. Yeah, I mean, also, a lot of these devs are going to end up going to smaller companies or just forming smaller teams, and, maybe they'll keep working, we hope, but it's just... I think, and I'm not like the most educated about this kind of thing, so I'm sorry if I'm saying misinformation, but it feels like, and what I was reading a little bit too, was during COVID, all these companies just scooped up more and more people, and they saw more and more profits like in the years leading up to that, and then there was a boom, and that became completely unsustainable. I mean, look at Concord, just as an example of like cartoony, not even cartoony, I mean, that's not the right word for it, but something like that where it's like team shooter with style that has been homogenized and sterilized and focus tested again and again and again until it appeals to absolutely nobody. And I mean, it happened with, what was the other one? High Guard? Oh my god, I forgot about that one for a minute. High Guard at least had a little bit more going for it, but it was not much. So I wouldn't be surprised if stuff like that is also a pretty big reason why Sony's doing what they're doing. Which, by the way, they've posted about a $200 flight stick recently. So, and then they're just getting lambasted online about it. It's a really, really weird time to be a fan of games, because if you want the level of quality that like we've been ramped up to accept, those take years. But what's crazy is id Tech, that engine was so smooth and so good, they laid off everybody except one guy for the entirety of that like engine, which could have been a really great way to pump out more games like Quake, fucking more Wolfenstein, I guess. Well, I don't know. That ended up shooting itself in the foot too a little bit. I think that didn't end up the way they wanted it in terms of profits. So, I don't know. It just sucks to see, I think, a generally really solid game engine. Doom 2016, I think, helped kind of form some of the modern, like, first-person shooter landscape. And they were rewarded with just layoffs. So, yeah, I don't know. Crazy, everybody. I know I've talked about this a couple times, but right now, and I don't mean to be doom or gloom, but I do think it's a good thing in some ways. I see people actually not letting Sony, they're not accepting the digital-only future. And in terms of digital, like, I'm not opposed to digital, but I'd like an option. I don't like the idea of a game I've owned that I spent $60 to $70 on being taken away from me. And again, game key cards are not that much better, but there's a lot of misinformation about those too. So, but yeah. Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis is no longer available as well. It also, to me, this all reeks of trend chasing, and ways to kind of become a Fortnite, or to hit that like huge live service model and just bring in infinite money. but it just only happened for Fortnite and maybe a little bit for a couple other games. Also, Assassin's Creed remake, the Black Flag remake, apparently has microtransactions. What's up with that? I don't know, man. Well, anyway, now that we've got all that out of the way, I just wanted to say I'm really, I just am amazed, especially at Jeff Keighley's tweet. Like, the day Dark Ages Revelations launches, which by all accounts is really good. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna give it a shot. I don't know when, but soon. They lose 50% of their team. What is happening? Tonight is Horseman Night, everybody. We are going to do some gaming. So I'm gonna hop in the call now, and we'll see what we're doing.